Hello everyone and welcome to Console Spirit Tier 3. My name is Thomas, next to me is Kavy and we're here in Brazil for another EU3 race. Currently on your screens is the driver standings with Robo leading the way because Rage Snipes got a disqualification last week in France. Ricky is really close as well, followed by Robert, Connell, Jesse, Justin, then Jay Prentice and Mazza rounding off the top 10. It's such a tricky track to overtake. You got the long back straight, long start finish straight where you can make some overtakes, but the rest of the track is pretty tricky. We're gonna have a look at it right now. Like I said, 2 DRS zones, 1 detection point at the beginning of sector 3 and a DRS detection point at the beginning of sector 1. Other than that, very tricky but very fast track with 15 turns and a lot of difference in height. Then going on to the constructor standings, we've got Alfa Romeo leading the way in front of Racing Point. Ferrari, McLaren, Haas, AlphaTauri, Williams, Red Bull, Mercedes and Renault is the last place team with only 1 single point, so they definitely want to improve on that one. In the commentaries with me, like I said, Kavy, welcome mate, happy you are doing the commentary job with me tonight. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good man, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, really looking forward to it. Brazil always puts up good show, so yeah, I'm expecting nothing different.
Yeah, and it looks like to be a dry qualifying session. Sun's out here at Interlagos tonight, so hopefully we should see some quick times as the session goes on.
Definitely, currently on board with the guy who's probably not liking the fact it's sun right now, and that's Dan. He was hoping for some rain as always, but as we can see it's dry as it could be, so he needs to do it all by himself and on pure pace, and let's see what he can do. I know he practiced a lot the last couple of days, so he should be up to grips, as Rage Snipes and Jay Prentice are probably both gonna retire anytime soon, as they both got a quali ban for today's race. Other than that, Steve will join through quali, and Reggae is replacing just Chris for today, so that's all the housekeeping done and sorted, and then yeah, we can go on with qualifying.
Yeah, so Dan's on a lap now. Just wants to try and put in a banker. A nice easy lap. Get himself a time on the board. And he's going to come round up the hill. Alfa Romeo doing really well this season, aren't they? They've had a good start, especially with Matty Robbo. So see what if they can try and bridge that gap again tonight as Dan comes to the line and sets a 107.7, which is a good banker.
Yeah, already really close field. Look at this, 107.6, 107.6 and a 107.7. That just shows how competitive this field is, and especially on a track like Brazil, the margins are going to be so close, and if you make one single mistake on your lap, it can cost you a lot of positions. Robert just puts in the fastest lap of this session so far with 107.5.
Yeah, if we're going to look at quality time tonight in this tier, we maybe a few of the guys can try and get into the 106s. We know from what I've seen so far that a few of these guys have the ability to do that. I think especially the likes of Robert, Matty Robbo, if they can get to the 106s, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I think those guys can definitely challenge to go into the 106, and I'm really looking forward to see if we can actually get a battle once again between Matty Robbo and Robert. Snoopy said it in the chat as well, Matty Robbo and GameNet going for pole. Yeah, hopefully they will be really close and hopefully they can challenge each other in today's race. Last week, of course, Robert was on the alternative strategy and it didn't work out at the end because he got wind damage early on in lap 1 in the race. Yeah, which caused him to run midfield almost for the entire race, while Matty Robbo was fighting for the win. Yeah, he gained a lot of points on Robert, and now it's time for the Haas driver to gain those points back, I would say. Or is it Matty Robbo gonna extend his championship lead? You never know. Currently he is on for a quick lap, so let's actually see what the Alfa Romeo driver can do here, going through sector 2 and onto the start of sector 3. See if we can
get a good exit out of here.
Yeah.
Looks sidey.
Really important to get a good exit, because if you get a bad exit, it hurts you for the rest of the straight. DRS is wide open. He's gonna run out of DRS just before the line, but I don't think it's gonna hurt him too much. And he puts in a 107.2. 3/10 clear from Robert, and that's making a statement. Good job from Matty Robbo.
Yeah, great lap from Matty there. Yeah, so he currently has a 13-point lead in the championship over Ricky. And I was saying when I was commentating that China, I think Matty's probably surprised himself as well of how quick and consistent he is in a minute, because last game he had a little bit of a struggle, but all of a sudden, since he's come onto this game, he's really put on the shown his pace, and it's lovely to see. And like I said, he has that little bit of a buffer. So if he doesn't win tonight, it's not the end of the world. All he wants to do tonight is just score good points and just keep that consistency going.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think the main thing, we saw it already last season where he got a couple of good results, but like you said, the consistency just wasn't there. And now being consistent is exactly what I had last season in Tier 2. It's not being like the ultimate quickest driver on the field or on the grid, but it's just being so consistent, getting podium positions every single time is really gonna benefit you in the championship standings. Of course, this is a season which is twice as long as last season, so you need to keep your head in the game for a lot longer, but Medirobo is doing a brilliant job so far, and yeah, Ricky will be determined to get at least a little bit close today together with Robert. It's definitely not played yet, and with that many races to come, yeah, who's gonna be champion, we still don't know.
Yeah, very early in the season, Kalsabag just set a lap time of a 108 dead. But this race, it's going to be a difficult one for these guys. From what I practiced in, I had a practice race just before the start of this qualifying tonight. It's so tricky because it's very difficult to get out of DRS zones, especially around this track. So, in a way, Brazil is kind of like Monaco, if that makes sense, because you really need to be at the front if you want to make this race work out for you. If you're starting in the midfield, especially around 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th, you're going to have a hard time of getting past guys and saving the RS. So you either want to be at the front or maybe outside the top 10 and go for the alternate strategy. So it's going to be so important for these guys to get a good lap time. And if you look, just Blades there, just set at 107.2. Great lap from the AlphaTauri.
Blades on fire, doing a brilliant job. Yeah, it's just exactly like you said, but you sort of have the same issue as we had around Spain, where if you're in the DRS train, it's just so hard to get out. If the guy in front is not overtaking you, it's almost impossible to overtake him. And if the leader is able to pull away, then he's on for a brilliant result. And then indeed, if you are a quicker guy behind a couple of slower guys in front, it can really hurt your race at the end. As we're currently on board with Lars, who is doing 4 laps already on his medium stint. Don't know why is that, but different strategy than the others do. But yeah, you really want to qualify well, like you said, and currently Medirobo and Pure Blades actually are doing a brilliant job with their 107.2.
Trying to see who's on a lap at the moment.
I think Robert is on a lap. Oh yeah, yeah. Ronan invalidated, and Robert is just behind him. So I think we're gonna go on board with the Haas driver. Let's see what his sector 2 is looking like. Oh, there is a Renault in the way. It just got to the left hand side of the track. Let's see, as Robert is coming to the end now of sector 2, he is almost 1.5 tenths up on his lap time, so he's looking to get maybe inside the top 3, get the position of Reggae. Let's see what he can do, the Dutchman, onto the start finish line as he puts in 107.3, so close to P3. And look at the time difference, it's so close.
Yeah, I mean, there's only half a second between Matty Robbo and his teammate Dan in P10, so we've still got just over 8 minutes qualifying, so these guys can get a couple of more laps in, so still time to be found for these guys, as is Herbert. No, Herbert's not on a lap, he's on a slow lap. Ricky at the minute, currently P15, he'll want to get out there if he can and try and get a lap in.
Let's see if Gurley on board with Justin, another Dutchman. which is not that hard to be honest, because almost half of the grid is Dutch here in Tier 3. As he is a little bit down on his Sector 1, so let's see if he can improve in Sector 2, currently P4 with 107.3. If he only improves by not even a tenth, he's already gonna be in P1, so let's see what he can do. Red Bull driver, as he is gonna negotiate the tricky Sector 2 where you can make or break your lap time, and where it's almost impossible, I'm gonna say almost impossible to overtake, because we'll probably see some late moves if it's gonna be close at the end of the race, but for now, and especially at the beginning of the race, we won't see a lot of overtakes there. And there is an Alfa Romeo gonna be in front. Is he gonna get a little bit of slipstream from it? I don't think so.
I think he might just be too far back from one of the Alphas.
Yeah, I think he's too far away, but he goes on to the line. It's a 107.2 and it's gonna be P1 by 2,000ths of a second to Matty Robbo.
And Matty's just started a lap as well.
Oh, he was the Alfa Romeo in front. That's class.
He was. See what you can do with this Sector 1 split.
Ooh, also down.
This time.
Yep.
Wants to keep it nice and tidy through this section. You can easily run wide and invalidate. Oh, he just gets on the curb there. Back end just stepping out a little bit there. Keeps it nice and tight through the sector. Oh, it just goes a tad wide on entry there. If he comes down the hill, see his Sector 2 split now. 10 foot. Looking good for the Alfa Romeo.
Don't think he's gonna improve that much in Sector 3, but you never know, of course.
Here he comes.
Oi!
Yeah,
Class lap.
Getting out about half a tenth up the hill then, so yeah, great lap from Matty.
Oh, look at Blades taking P2 once again. 107.1
okay.
frame as well. And those guys can come back into the pits and set another lap time, so keep an eye out for them. They can go into the 106s. Blades is ready today.
I'll tell you what though, Thomas, I was streaming just before I was streaming the practice race and I was talking to Blades. I said, Blades, just for tonight, just show up. And I'll tell you what, he's really showing it tonight, isn't he? 107.1.
He's listening.
Lap. Yeah, it's great to see the AlphaTauri. Yeah, it's great qualifying system so far for him. As Charlie comes up to the line, he goes up to P4.
He got up to P4 currently on board with his teammate Ricky, who is just ready from work and is gonna put his lap time in now. Going through Sector 2 with 51.0 and now on to start finish line. Let's see what the Welshman can do. Is he gonna put it on the front row? If not, pole position. DRS is open. Onto the line. 107.4 P8 for Ricky. Won't be happy with that one.
Yeah, he should be able to get one more run in. That was his first lap of the session though, so he'll want to try and get back in and out as soon as he can, try and improve on that time. Is anyone else on a lap? Roland is not on a lap.
Steve is not on a lap. Yeah, Roland isn't on a lap as well, and the rest.
Connell is on a lap. He's just going through Sector 2 now. Williams driver. He had a great race last week, didn't he? In France, he could have potentially took the win. Just didn't work out for him. But he had a great podium. Hopefully for himself, that will give him great confidence coming into this race tonight.
Yeah, he had a brilliant race. He started on a hard tire, and he started at like P16 or something, and by the end of lap 1 he was already up into P8. It was insane from Connell, so let's see if he can do the same now, but I think he wants to improve on his qualifying position, which he's definitely gonna do, but by how much is Connell gonna improve? He's gonna improve up to P6 with 107.3 as well.
Yeah, not a bad lap there. Still a 107.3 only puts you into P6, P7. Not the place that you really want to start this race. We're going to assume that it's going to be a dry race as well.
It's already a soft meet, really. probably gone on to the medium tire, so I think gonna be seeing any.
Yeah, Herbert comes to the line. He
Actually, I got a message from him on the names, so I don't want to make any mistakes whatsoever. He says we can call him Harold from this time, so that's our life much easier.
Yes, it does. So we've got Dan on the lap now. He's in sector 2 right now on his final run. Lap times of 107.7. If you're Dan now, you wouldn't mind staying in P11 and try and go alternate to your teammate, as he's going to come downhill now. See what his sector 2 split is.
Oh, big improvement.
4 up. If he can get a good exit here, if he can try and get half a second, he's going to put himself around P4, P5. DRS is open. Punches for the line. What is he going to do? Or perhaps P6.
It's currently a bit laggy. I've seen it as well, so I'm currently looking at it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, because on my screen here it is showing alright, so hopefully it's gonna fix itself. I had some issues earlier on today with my internet, so hopefully it's not causing any issues anymore. But yeah, it's not looking good. I know what you mean now. Yeah,
like these guys now are going to start their final laps. I'm going to try and see who's going to be the first to cross the line.
He is coming through the last turn now, and he was almost 3/10 up, so he's looking to get into those 106s, but is he going to be able to?
Here we go.
Oh, not into the 106s, but he's gonna take P1 once again from Medi Robo, and is Medi Robo gonna respond? He is. Oh, he's got someone in front of him. He's gonna get some great slipstream from Blades, of all people. This is definitely gonna bring him up into P1, unless he made a mistake earlier on in the lap. It's gonna be a 106.9 from Medi Robo, and he takes back P1 from Justin. Oh, look at Reggae. Ace P4. Look at Robert. Is he improving?
Finish lap. I'm on board with Ricky now. Oh, he's just hard.
If he improves a little bit more, he can already gain a couple of positions. Oh, he's not. Before the end, what's Robert gonna do? Improvement. He's already into the 106 and he's not even past the pit lane. So he is not gonna improve, and that means there's an Alfa Romeo with a Dutchman in the Red Bull in P2 by the likes of Justin. Blades taking surprisingly P3, well done to him, and Reggae being an EU4 driver. Brilliant job from him to put it up into P4. Charlie P5 as he dropped down from tier 2. Roland P6, surprised as well. Robert won't be happy in P7. Then, don't know how happy he is about P8. Connell P9 and Ricky rounds off the top 10. Sneaky Tom first one to have free choice of tire P11. Seigate P12. Harold P13, and then otherwise have to look for the other results. Spot is in the chat, Blaze having a nosebleed up there. would assume so. Kelso Swag P14, Thibaut P15, Lars P16, Steve P17, Snipes, J Prentice Bobert picked up a disqualification. You can actually see why he got disqualification, because he parked in a dangerous. Yeah, you love this game.
Yep, you don't want that. So yeah, again, Matty, great qualifying. He had a brilliant session, only over half 10th off of Matty, so
Justin
Yeah,
is
guys.
always the guy who like suddenly comes up out of gets a brilliant result. Like last week and the week before, you just don't see him as back at it again, and don't rule him out for a victory yet.
Yeah, so guys, if you're watching the stream, if you want to give us your predictions for this race,
Yeah, get those predictions. Blaze with Blades in P1, Matty P2, and then P3. We should put something on Blaze getting a victory today.
We should.
If Blaze gets a victory there, we'll give someone a sub.
Yes. If Blaze wins
Definitely.
it, yeah, I'll give the sub straight away.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to do that. Who is going to be a naughty boy? Hopefully, they're all good, and do not press that dreaded button of death.
The bottom.
Whatever you do. Death.
You know what the thing is like with those 2 minutes? It's like helpful. You can go to the toilet real quick, get your setup ready and everything like that. But it's sort of around the 1 minute mark. Oh, Sneaky Tom is the naughty boy once again. But it's always around the 1 minute mark where you think like, okay, now it's time to go, and you're still not going. But it's good for everyone to get prepared in the ultimate way. Eat a cookie in the chat. He says this is a course lap record around Brazil, which is it a record for tier 3 or is it a record in general? Can't be in general because I think Lewis in tier 1 last season at least got into the 106s.
They're off on their formation lap. See what tyres everyone has gone on. Thomas, only Cygate in P12 and Harold have started on mediums, and Steve. That I'm very surprised by that. I don't know about you. I was off practice earlier and it went very well. I'm really surprised with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing especially is that Steve and Harold are both in the same team, so they're like still gonna how am I gonna say this without giving away a sub? They're gonna be in each other's way as soon as they want to make the pit stop because they're both on the same strategy. But yeah, other than that, all on softs. So they all got to do it on pure pace. And Cookie is in, he says record overall Lewis did a 107.1 last season. Oh, fair enough. So Matty with the all-time record around Brazil. You absolutely love to see it.
That's beautiful. We may see that be broken this week. Of course, we've still got quite a few tiers to go. Of course.
Yeah, we've still got the aliens coming up.
We have, but for now, as battle on from good, we've got the tier 3 gang ready to kick off this week's race in Interlagos.
Definitely. Hopefully I can get a better camera angle than last week, because last week it was for some reason glitched and I didn't even get 5 red lights. It was that awful. So hopefully it's gonna be all better this week.
Yep.
Oh yes, now I see it. 5 red lights. And we got the glitch again. Oh, this game is still not fixed. Loading up the reps. It slides out and away we go for the start from Matty, but it's an even better start from Justin. It's a brilliant start from Blades, who tries to go around the outside, which turns into the inside. That's Pure Blades up into P2. Brilliant start from him. And Charlie as well getting up into P4 with.
What a start from Blades. Got great traction out of center S's, as they're all jockeying in position now. And there's no off. The only off was Jizzy. He must have had a moment. But apart from that, everyone else is very clean, which is.
Reggae with a terrible start. Look at him. He was P4, if I'm not mistaken. Dropped down to P12. Not a good start for the wheel. Oh, that's Steve.
Ooh.
Off.
Yeah, looks like he had it coming together with someone in the midfield there. It's not the start that you want. as Matty heads off into the distance.
Matty Robo pulling away, sets the fastest lap time of today's race, of course. And now he will be trying to pull away from Blades behind, and Blades will do everything he can to stay within that 1 second window. Let's see if any. Roland is really close to the back of Ricky, but is he close enough to make a move? He's in the slipstream, but not close enough to make a move down the inside. Ricky breaks very late. There's no way you're gonna make a move into the fast right-hander unless you're already side by side going into it. As the top 7 is slowly pulling away. Ricky needs to do his absolute best to stay within the 1 second window of Connell. Other than that, everyone is through cleanly, and Seigate on those mediums, look at him, keep an eye out for the Dutchman, because on those mediums already P10 is on for a good result.
Yeah, so what Seigate will want to do now is try and stick with Roland and Ricky, staying their DRSs.
Charlie, sorry to interrupt you, massive tank slapper from Charlie coming out of the last turn. Oh, that was really close.
Yeah, must have had a poor race on the grass there. If you're going to look for a move down into turn 1, I think it's better with it. As DRS will be enabled this lap. As I was saying about Seigate, he just wants to stay you know, within the gearbox of Roland and Ricky, and it will really make his strategy work. As they're all now just in that DRS train that we were talking about in qualifying, as the 2 Ferraris get side by side.
Steve is off again on hards at the same corner.
That is not good. And he's got wing damage as well.
That's not his favorite corner. So what happened there? Did he come together with Lars? No, that he's already up the rope. But he picked up wing damage as well, because otherwise won't be in that position. So not to start, Lars, Jizzy and Steve would have a comeback race and praying for a safety car to come out.
Yeah, it's always important on this game now, but that ERS management needs to be very good around it. Easily burn it off and never gain it back. As if I'm just going to compare, look, 7% already compared to Matty's 60, 70 now going up. It's good to be in DRS train, but you need to have that ERS as well, just in case you do want to attack on the driver in front of you. As it's calmed down now a little bit, this race. We're only 4 laps in, so it's all about race pace now and just banging in consistent lap times, as Matty is out of the DRS zone of Blades now, which is crucial for him.
Yeah, this is the point where you're gonna start thinking about your tyres. It is...
Oh, is the Red Bull off? Is it
Kelswag?
Oh, yep.
Must have come together with Harold, I think it was. Oh, and there's a Renault, and that was Thibaut and Jay Prentice going side by side. What I want to say is, like, now you need to think about the long term. You need to save your tires. If you're saving your tires now, you can go on to much fresher mediums at the second part of this race and maybe gain a little bit more position. If you're burning your tires already, then it's gonna hurt you for the rest of the race. As we're currently on board with Justin, going side by side with Pure Race, has to go a long way round, but it's already job done for the Red Bull drive, and that's it. Justin back into P2 where he started from, and Blades back to P3.
Good start from Dan as well. He gained 4 positions from the start. He's going to be all over the back of Blades as well. Blades just want to try and keep within that DRS of Justin for now. But yeah, Kelswag with that spin as well, he had wing damage as well. He had an end play off, so again, it's not what you want around here.
Downforce is definitely around here, and if you're missing an end play, that's not gonna benefit your race. We got yellow again, and a sneaky Tom off. Oh, he won. Otherwise, you're not gonna spin there. Probably hit the side pot. And that's him dropping down to P15 in this race, and he's got some work to do now.
He's got no wing damage though, which is good for him. I'm gonna try and catch up back to the likes of.
Dan got past Blades on the last turn before the straight already, and now Robert is looking to get past Blades down the inside. Job done as well. Oh, Blades touched the back of Robert. Don't think he got any wing damage. And then Robert now up into P4, then up into P3, and Blades lost 3 positions in 2 laps.
Also as well, we got Charlie all over the back of Connell here. The RS is open for him. She's not gonna be able to pass him this lap. We got Raji just overtaking Sygate as well on those mediums into turn 4. And it's calmed down a bit now again, so again it's just crucial for these guys just to save tyres and try and, like you said, stretch that stint out as far as you can with these tyres. Oh, as Blades goes off track! Oh, he had a really bad exit there, got on track, and he's going to have Connell for company now. Oh no,
Connell for company, yeah, and crucially enough, no DRS to Robert anymore, so he's got to do it all by himself now, and that's not gonna benefit his race. Talking about Robert, he's trying to get past Dan, down the inside he goes. No, he thinks better of it, stays behind the Alfa Romeo driver. And this all Blades picks up 3 seconds. This is the crucial thing we talked about in qualifying. The DRS train then needs to overtake Justin for Robert to overtake Dan. Otherwise, I don't see it happening, because then we'll have too much straight line speed for Robert to even get anywhere near Dan, unless he gets a much better exit. Justin 1.7 seconds away now from Matty Robbo. And this is the point where Dan is going to be thinking as well, because if you overtake Justin and you close in on Matty Robbo, you're gonna bring the rival drivers closer to your teammate as well. If you keep it like this, just let Justin do his thing, maybe you can allow your teammate to pull away and create a gap. So they will definitely have some team communication going on. I know they're in the party together, and this is the point where you need to start thinking about the team game. They're P1 and P3, the rest of the teams are far behind, only one driver into the top 10 apart from Williams and Ferrari. So they're gonna gain some big points in the constructor standings, and the fact is you want to gain as many points on the position as you can, and I think this is the maximum they're gonna get at this point of the race.
Yeah, as Connell got past Pure Blades as well, he goes up into P5. Blades just starting to struggle now, he just cuts off track. Will he come back at Connell there? Of course, former teammates, the RS is open. Yeah, I don't think he has got no ERS left at all, which is not going to help him, and he's going to have Charlie for company right now. Just to note as well, Thomas, Justin's not having a bad race so far. He's only 1.5 seconds from
Oh my days! Blades and Charlie collided, and Blades is off into the wall.
I didn't see that then. I cut over to Justin, so Blades. Does he have wing damage as well? Yes, he does, unfortunately. And he picks up a penalty as well for his troubles. He had such a brilliant qualifying. We were singing his praises, and now it's just all gone completely wrong for the AlphaTauri driver. And he's going to have to pit this lap, maybe go to hards. As we got Ricky all over the back of his teammate now. Goes, passes him into turn 1. And that moves Ricky up to P6. Ricky does need to get a move on here if he wants to start catching the likes of Connell and Robert and Dan.
Yeah, but he went deep into turn 1, and Charlie is probably gonna come back at him now. He's run out of ERS as well. That's not really gonna help. Is Charlie gonna make a move on his teammate? No, he's not. So Charlie, Blaze retired in the pits.
No,
such
Blaze,
a shame.
No.
There goes the 3 subs. It's not going to be a victory today for Pure Blades.
But I was saying, Thomas, look at Justin. Look at the gap.
Exactly.
He's really closing in on
He's closing in. He closed in almost 4 tenths on the last lap.
He's had a great start to the race. As Justin.
Yeah, the thing is now, is this because Matty Robbo is saving ERS and tires, or is it just Justin having the much bigger pace? Justin is on 30% ERS, Matty is on 75% ERS, so definitely the case of Matty Robbo saving his ERS. As he's probably starting to think now, oh shit, I need to push, because he's almost within the 1 second window.
Yeah, last thing with Matty, as soon as he starts to get that 1 second window, you can just open that, open his ERS and just gain that gap back to where it was. As he's gonna, is he gonna use it down here? No, he's not gonna use it. So, yeah, good ERS management from Matty. As the we've got Ricky all the back of his teammate again. Charlie must have got past Ricky. So we're going to get to a point now where these soft tyres are going to start dropping in performance, and that wear's going to really kick in. We're going to expect these guys to pit around lap 13, lap 14, and it'll be interesting to see if any of the guys can stretch them out even further, maybe lap 15, 16.
Yeah, the guys who are being really careful on the tires can definitely go a little bit longer. I think those are gonna be the likes of Robert, Dan, Metro, well, and probably Justin as well. But currently, look at this. I've got the gap to the leader on screen right now, and if my Robo is gonna make his pit stop, he'll probably fall back to behind Sneaky Tom or just in front of Sneaky Tom. So it's definitely not time for him to make a pit stop yet. The thing is, the positive thing for my Robo is that almost everyone has to make the pit stop around the same time, so we won't get that much of a disadvantage from it as Dan picks up 3 seconds. But that is something to keep in mind. Where are you gonna come out? Are you gonna come out in traffic, or are you gonna have some clean air in front of you?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Oh, hey.
seconds. That is not good for him. Yeah, it's gonna be massive. If Matty can pit and get some clean air in front of him, he should be able to still get ahead of Justin, Dan and Robert. As you look, like I said, you look at the gaps to the leader, it's only 2.5 seconds between the top 4, so it's just gonna be whoever fires the first round and pits.
Yeah, maybe the two Alfa Romeos can trigger an undercut from either Justin or Robert by coming in a little bit earlier. And with it being 2.5 seconds, picking up a 3-second time penalty can absolutely be crucial at the end of the race. If no one else is gonna pick up another seconds, we know Matt Robo's got one, we know Dan's got one, I think Robert is on a penalty as well. So it's definitely gonna be the case of who's gonna pick up the least amount of time penalties.
Yeah, so if you're Cygate as well, if we just go on to Cygate, he's P11 still, he's getting 1 position from the start. He's going to get to a point now where his mediums will start kicking in, and this is going to be time for Cygate to start pushing those mediums as these soft guys start to lose a bit of tyre performance. It'll be interesting to see later on in the race, because it's going to be all about the last stint for Cygate, and that's when he's going to start picking up positions. He's still 3 seconds off of Raju, P10. As now, like I said, with Brazil, it's kind of like Austria, it just dies down now where everyone's just in DRS, and there's not a lot that the likes of Robert and Dan can do right now, it's them just stay in DRS.
Yep, because Justin is staying within the DRS of Meta Robert. It's almost impossible for Dan now to make a move. And the same goes on for Robert, as he is not going to be able to make a move on Dan. As we've got the first one going into the pits, Connell followed by Ricky. So both into the pits, would assume they both go on for the medium tires, mediums for the Ferrari at least. Is Connell going to go on to the mediums as well? No, he's not. He's going to go on to the hard tires. Ooh, surprisingly to see.
He did that in a practice race as well. He went on the hard tyres, so he thinks that he has a pace on them, and of course those mediums will die out towards the end of the race, so, and it could be in potential puncture territory for the guys that do go on the medium, so we'll have to wait and see towards the end of the race what comes of that. But I'm really impressed with Justin this race so far. He has been outstanding. It'll be interesting to see now, will it be the time for any of these guys in the top 4 to pit?
Yeah, I just wanted to say the same. The pit stop of Connor and Ricky didn't trigger anything to the guys in front. Is any of the top 4 gonna come into the pits? Matthew Robo is not. Justin is gonna come into the pits, and then is gonna cover him. And the same goes on for Robert. Oh no! Yeah, we saw him already going to the left hand side of Dan to avoid a collision, and he picked up a 5 seconds time penalty in the process. That's not gonna benefit his race, and he is gonna go onto the hard tires as well. Dan is on the hard tires as well. Ooh, they're inside each other. Didn't expect that to say on an F1 game. Justin got a little bit more in front, and it's time for him now to go and try to get the undercut on Matthew Robo on the hard tire as well. So only Ricky decided to go on to the medium so far. Ooh, look at Justin. And he comes out behind Harold. So this could be crucial for Robo. If he is gonna push this lap, he maybe is gonna get in front of Justin.
Yeah, all hard tyres except from Ricky, so they're all in the same boat in thinking that those mediums won't make it to the end. Hard tyre will be slow on performance though, so for Ricky now on P12, he needs to start making positions as soon as he can. But of course, easier said than done around here. Will Matty pit? No, he doesn't. Stays out for another lap. Does Matty, Robbo?
Yeah, he went long onto his soft run during the practice race as well. I did with him as Rage Snipes is into the pits. I'm gonna keep an eye out on the gap to the leader, as it is 20.9 seconds now to Robo between him and Justin. And Justin is gonna go and make a move on down the inside of Harold. Oh, but the Mercedes keeps his nose in. Justin makes his car wide, and now with the DRS should be able to pull away. Oh, Harold's got DRS. He's not gonna go for the move.
Oh, we got Robert all over the back of Dan as well.
Oh, look at this. This could be crucial for Justin, because Dan is still stuck behind the Mercedes. So Justin now needs to pull away 1 second to make sure Dan won't get DRS on the next lap. Or at least when he's got past the Mercedes. The gap between him and Matty is 20.7 now, so Matty Robo still remains the gap between him and effectively P2. Is he gonna come into the pits now? Yes, he is, but on what tyre?
It's going to be so tight between Justin and Matty now, as Dan and Robert are going to lose so much time now. They need to get a move done on Harold up the hill here.
Ooh,
going into
mediums from Matty.
Oh. So Matty thinks he's going to make his tyres last to the end. It's going to be so interesting to see where Justin comes out here.
Oh, Matty Robo is out of the pits now. Oh, look at this. It's going to be so close.
Oh, it's going to be tight.
Gonna be really tight, but he managed to just come out in front of Justin.
That's massive for Matty. Because Matty has that 3-second penalty as well, so it's
3 seconds
for him to get.
Yep. Now on the fresher tyres, should be able to pull away.
Oh, yellow in sector 3.
Oh,
that's
lost. Is it gonna trigger a safety car? I don't think it is. Just a spin. Yes, it is. I can see him moving on the minimap bottom right, as he is not having a good race whatsoever.
It's gone bad for worse for Lars, unfortunately, tonight. Dan did get past Harold into turn 1 on that lap. Robert, though, still behind Harold, so going to give Dan that little buffer to push and get away from Robert. And then for now, for Dan, it's to try and push and try and get into DRS to Justin. Gap's 1.4, or now to 1.6 now. As Cygate pits.
Sake on those 16 lap old mediums. Surprise move from him. As he is going to the softs. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's my reaction. Matt Robo is getting past Thibaut for the lead of this race. Of course, Thibaut still has got to make another pit stop. So Matt Robo now definitely in the lead of this race, with Justin being in the net P2. And look at this, 1.5 seconds between Justin and Dan, and 1.4 seconds between Dan and Robert. The train got split. Now everyone did buy their ticket, and they all got to do it on pure pace once again.
Yeah, this is a crucial part of the race for Matty now. He's got Thibaut as a buffer. So for Matty now, he really needs to start pushing, try and get an even bigger gap, maybe a 2 to 3 second gap, and then manage that during the rest of the race. As he's out of Thibaut's out of DRS, so Thibaut pits though.
Yeah, Thibaut goes in the pit. Justin got DRS on the start-finish straight, so that's crucial for the Dutchman. And he needs to stay patient now, because the race and the tyre will come to him, being on those hards. Matt Robo now will have the pace advantage, of course, on those fresher medium tires, but he will slowly drop off in pace, and then it's time for Justin to close back in. Who's closing back in as well is Robert. Look at this, 7/10 between him and Dan. He's definitely got some pace on those hard tires, and it's going to be very interesting to see what Dan can do defending wise to prevent Robert from getting any closer to his teammate.
Yeah, I think I think Robert may be able to get a move done here. Dan's quite low on ERS compared to Robert. Robert's just got over half more than Dan. So if we can get a good run out of the penultimate corner out the hill, he should get this move done. Because Robert has that 5-second penalty as well, so he needs to get a move on right now. Here we go. Up the hill. Overtake button will be deployed. Along with DRS. No, thinks better of the overtake button. He's going to save it for another lap.
Saving it for now. Thing is, like, if Dan is closing in on Justin, then I would totally understand the decision of him staying behind the Alfa Romeo, but I don't think that is the case, so I don't know why Robert is not overtaking Dan. Who is overtaking people is Charlie. He's overtook the Mercedes, and now Ricky is gonna follow as well. Ricky with the DRS and the slipstream of his teammate got past the Mercedes, and that's Ferrari now up into P6 and P7.
Yeah, if you're Charlie now, you should really let Ricky go. He needs to make those medium tyres, you know, use at maximum pace, and having Charlie in front of him is not going to work out for Ricky today. So there should be a multi-2-1 really coming into effect right now for the Scuderia team. As again, now the race has kind of died down. They're all again trying to find that pace on the harder tyre. As Matty is increasing that gap to 2.8 seconds now, which is massive for him. He just needs to get maybe another 2 tenths, just get that 3-second buffer, and then hope that Justin starts making more mistakes, starts picking up penalties as well.
Yep, 2.8 now to Justin, and Justin's got a 2.8 second gap to Dan as it dropped down to 2.7 now, and Robert is not gonna get.
Sorry to interrupt you there. Ricky had a massive lock-up there to turn 1 with his teammate Charlie. There's no multi-2-1 going down here at Ferrari. Look at them going side by side, coming around towards turn 4. Ricky just gets ahead of Charlie, gets the move done. So
I'm not gonna lie, that gave me flashbacks to the real-life Grand Prix here in Brazil.
Yeah, so Ricky gets the move done there. He needs to start pushing.
Yeah, Ricky now starts with. Talking about pushing, don't know if Matty Robert is pushing, but he's not pulling away as much as I thought he was gonna do. 3.2 seconds now. If those hards are gonna get quicker lap by lap, which they do around every other track I've driven around so far with the hard tires, then Justin is still on for a good result. He's still got no time penalties whatsoever. Of course, Matty Robert has got those 3-second time penalties, so as long as Justin just does damage limitation for now, he should be able to get it back at the end of the race. Robert, by the way, is making a move around the outside of Dan. Job done. It's the Dutchman up into P3, and he is trying to chase down the other Dutchman in P2.
Yeah, good move there from Robert. As now he's got a 2.5 second gap towards Justin, so he needs to start pushing. But again, when you do start pushing, you are gonna wear those tyres out. But we of course know that the hard tyre on this game is so good in terms of tyre wear. He's gonna, of course, easily make it to the end of the race. Of course, the only one that are gonna struggle toward the end is Matty and Ricky, and also Roland as well in P10. He's gone onto the mediums.
Yep, it was Ghost putting into the chat. He says Roland's actually having some decent pace on those fresh mediums. You're mentioning it now as well. Being in P10 with those mediums, he's definitely on for a good result if he can make it till the end of this race.
Yeah, of course, captain, leader, legend, that is Roland. Of course, in tier 3 now. He hasn't had the best start of the season. If I'm gonna have to be critical, I know this is
watch out, mate. You know you're in a dangerous position now.
I need to be careful with my words here, but no, I think. But I do think for some of these guys, they haven't had the greatest start to the season so far. Of course, we're really early into the season, and we've still got a lot more races to go. So I think for the likes of Justin, who's having a great race, Robert, you know, Roland, Rage Snipes, Ricky, Connell, Dan, you know, they really want to start picking up the pace in terms of picking up good points here tonight, or else Matty's just going to keep extending that gap up the top of the championship, as he's now 3.7 seconds there now. So that gap's just stabilising a little there.
Yeah, it's just like you said, at the beginning of the season it's always sort of the case of trying to settle down, getting into the rhythm, trying to know who are gonna be your rivals. But the thing is with Roland, we saw him last season as well in Tier 2 having some surprisingly good pace during qualifying, but then dropping off during the race. And he's been steady all day long today, having a good qualifying result, and now being in P9 on those mediums, he's definitely on for a good result, and that's definitely what he is wanting to see for the remainder of this season. Then Olde is struggling in P4. 8/10 is the gap to Robert in front, as he is running really low on the ERS as well. Robert is definitely putting the hammer down with 2.5 seconds to Justin. Let's keep an eye out on that gap between him and P2, and let's see if it is gonna come down anytime soon. Ricky is gonna get really close to the back of Connell. Connell on those hards, Ricky on those mediums. Gonna be very interesting to see if Ricky can make an overtake as he run wide coming out of turn 5, I think that is. But he didn't pick up a penalty, luckily enough. 6/10 now to Connell. He's really closing in, and I'm not gonna be surprised if he's going to make a move on a start-finish straight. Oh, Connell! Yep, I saw as well. He must have felt the pressure from Ricky behind, and even Roland overtook him, so that's Connell down to P9 from P5. Is he gonna come straight back at Roland though? Overtake and DRS. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Oh, it is gonna be enough. Roland goes defensive. Oh, late move from the Renault driver. Connell down the inside. Roland keeps his nose in. Oh, but he thinks better of it. Yellow sector 2.
Yeah, there's a Mercedes of Harold. He's got wing damage as well. He only just pitted for the hard tire as well, which is not good for him, unfortunately. And that's his race over. Because we've got 12 laps left. No VSC or safety cars have been called out yet, so it's been a nice clean race from F1 tonight. And if you're Ricky now, so Ricky currently in P5, gap's 4 seconds now to Dan. Also, Rage Snipes as well, he's picked up pace, he's all over the back of Ricky.
Yeah, and remember, Rage Snipes got a quali ban for this race, so coming from the back of the grid already up into P6, maybe after this lap P5, he is doing a brilliant job in the racing point, and who knows what would have been if he was allowed to qualify today. Let's see with DRS. He is running low on fuel, makes a move down the inside, late move, but fair enough, down the inside, and that's job done. And that's Ray Snipes up into P5, and look at then, 2/10s, 3/10s to Robert, but not close enough to make a move down the inside, so he has to stick behind the Dutchman for another lap. Connell overtook Roland, by the way, on the start-finish straight. Once again, so yeah, Roland now probably thinking about his race, low on the rest, low on fuel, trying to follow Connell and maybe gain a couple of positions because of that. He's got a 2.4 second gap to Reggae behind, and 7 seconds behind Reggae is Saiget on soft, so I think Roland is pretty clear from the guys behind, so he can focus on the guys in front. There's a Mercedes off at the last turn, and it's Harold struggling on fresh softs now. It is. He's not having a good time. Track.
And hopefully for himself he hasn't picked up wing damage again, because that's he's only just come out again this lap, unfortunately for Harold. It's just gone bad for worse again, same boat as Lars really. He hasn't picked up wing damage though, so he can keep going on those softs. And I'm still baffled over Saiget. He's currently in P11, he's in no man's land at the minute, he's on those soft tyres. I'm really confused as to why he's done that. And he's going to struggle to make it to the end on those softs as well, so really he's going to be praying for a safety car in the next few laps, as the race now is kind of stabilised. The closest gap in a minute is Dan and Robert. They're both low on ERS though.
Yeah, they're both low on ERS, but 2.2 seconds now between Justin and Robert, so Robert is closing in just about a 10th each lap, and that's definitely not going to be enough to get anywhere near Justin, knowing that he's got his 5-second time penalty as well. Dan and Justin 4.7 seconds. This is sort of time where Justin needs to get quicker and quicker. If not, then it will probably be a victory for Matty Robert. But it is a tier 3 race, and you know what's going on with tier 3. If there is not a safety car during the race, you will get a safety car at the very end. So let's keep an eye out for that one, as Ricky got past Rage Snipes again. So that's Ricky back up into P5 and Rage Snipes dropping down to P6. Is Rage Snipes gonna come back at him straight away? Brilliant helicopter view, overtake and DRS enable. Is he gonna be close enough to make a move? Tries to have a look round the outside. But we know Ricky is good at defending, and he does it once again, and he remains in P5.
Yeah, the gap stabilised between Ricky and Dan as well. It's been around 5 seconds the last few laps, so we're going to get to a point maybe. I know it's going to be a commentator's curse that the top 4 might be sealed. And it's the only thing for Robert is he still has that 5 seconds it's going to be added to his time at the end of the race. And if we look at the leader now, the gap between Robert and Ricky is 5 seconds. So for Robert, he needs to keep pushing so he doesn't lose potentially a few positions, because you've got Rage Snipes as well to remember. He's all over the back of Ricky, so if Ricky and Rage help, don't fight each other too much and just help each other try and gain on this on Dan and Rob, they might even gain more positions by the end of the race.
Rage Snipes was having a look down the inside. He thinks better of it. Oh, and then a massive tank slapper coming out of turn 1, so he is definitely not going for a move up into turn 3. And we've got some inside info from Cookie in the chase. He says that Matty is only 1 warning away from getting a second time penalty, which could be crucial for him. And I don't know on how many warnings Justin is, but
yeah, I'm gonna have a look now for you, Thomas.
Yeah, please have a look, because he could be on 2 warnings of course.
Justin's having a stellar race. He's only on 1 warning at the minute. That's brilliant from Justin.
Yeah, that's close.
So Matt is 1 warning away from another 3 seconds. Of course, we know that Robert has that 5-second penalty, but he's only 1 warning away from a penalty as well. Dan has 6 seconds as well. So for Rage Snipes and Ricky, they're in a good position here. They just need to keep pushing, and they can gain a few more positions here. And also for Justin, if Matty does pick up 1 more penalty, Justin could be on for the win here in Brazil.
Yep, and I think this is probably the time for Robert and Dan to work together. Maybe they can slip from each other each lap to get either away from Ricky. Oh, it's Rage Snipes pick up 3 seconds. Either to pull away from Ricky or get anywhere closer to Justin, because it's definitely not working now. Robert is not quick enough to close in on Justin, and they're also not quick enough to pull away enough from Ricky behind. It's such a tricky situation right now, because you don't want to push and pick up another penalty. So yeah, what is the smartest thing to do? We never know, as Charlie has bought his ticket to the Ricky train. He is now within a second of Rage Snipes in front, so all 3 together within 1 second.
Yeah, so with 7 laps to go now, Thomas, Matty's in a really difficult situation, because he's at the point where his tyres are going to start wearing. Justin might pull that gap back in, which is going to have to make Matty push, which is, of course, is going to bring that danger of getting another penalty. So it's going to be really interesting now to see what Matty can do with these last few laps of the race here.
Yeah, those mediums are slowly starting to get worse and worse, as the gap is 4.7 seconds to the man behind, as all the gaps are starting to stay the same, although Robert gained 2/10 on the last lap, and you can see Justin now in front, just going into the double left-hander. Is Robert on for a late move and a late charge on the Dutchman in front? We never know. 5.6 seconds now. So they're pulling away from Ricky, as he is starting to struggle on his mediums as well. Is Charlie gonna go for the move on the both medium runners in front? We don't know. I think if he's gonna get the chance, he will take it.
Yeah, it's gonna be intriguing to see what happens here. The gap's still around 4.5 seconds between Matty and Justin. And not much really going on in the midfield either. It's kind of all spaced out as well. But obviously you've got Charlie joining that train of Ricky, and apart from that, really nothing else is really developing towards the back of the field. So it's all action at the front right now. And we've got 5 laps to go here at Brazil.
last 5 laps of this race. Then had a little moment coming out of turn 1, which cost him a couple of tenths, but it's all good because he got DRS. 2.1 seconds still the gap between Justin and Robert, so it stayed the same on the last lap. And Rage Snipes is gonna get past Ricky, yes he is. That's Rage Snipes now up into P5, and Ricky is so close. Oh, watch out guys, don't make each other crash. Ricky, no way you're gonna make it around the outside. No way you're gonna make it around the outside. Oh, it's so close. But he keeps it on the outside, which turns into the inside for the next one. Ricky's doing the impossible. Rage Snipes are still together side by side. Oh, Ricky holds it around the outside once again. Turns into the inside once again. No way.
Oh wow, this is great. This is brilliant driving from the both of them. Oh,
Ricky takes it. What brilliant defending from almost a whole lap from Ricky and Rage Snipes. And is Charlie gonna get a double slipstream now? This should be the chance for Charlie to make a move. He's weaving down the straight. He's touching Rage Snipes. Is Charlie into the wall? Is Rage Snipes into the wall? Massive crash at the start-finish straight.
Will that trigger a safety car? Will it trigger a VSC?
Yes, I said it. I said it. Oh
wow,
my days.
That is massive. That is huge.
I called it. It's tier 3, and if you don't have a safety car during the race, we'll have it at the end. Massive collision between Rage Snipes and Charlie with a brilliant view of it. And I can probably hear a few swear words coming from the Alfa Romeo garage and the Haas garage.
Despite the accident, that was amazing driving from Ricky and Rage Snipes there. Throughout the whole lap, pretty much side by side. And then Rage Snipes and Charlie got all over the back of Rage Snipes and clipped the rear wheel of Rage Snipes, and unfortunately for the Ferrari driver, he's out of the race. However, that has just made this race turn on its head with 4 laps to go. Safety car is out. Matty pits, Thomas.
Justin is in. Robert is in. Dan stays out.
Will Ricky stay out?
What is going on? Will Ricky stay out?
Here?
He's got no time penalties. He stays out. Yeah, smart move,
yeah,
because he's got no penalties whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah, he's only got 1 warning, does Ricky, so it makes complete and utter sense for him to stay out. Will anyone else stay out? Connell stays out. Roland stays out. Raji stays out. Where will Matty come in this?
Matty P4 behind goal. Oi, 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 oi.
Oh, that is...
Okay, Dan has got 6 seconds of time penalties.
Yeah.
Matty a P4 on 3 seconds and 2 warnings. Robert, he has served his 5-second time penalty now. So he only got his 3 seconds from early on in the race. Ricky is free of penalties. What about Roland? That's gonna be a brilliant question. Let's see.
Let me have a look at Roland.
Penalty. Let's see, that is P5 he is.
So no, he's got
no penalties. Roland is on for a podium position. You absolutely love to see it around here at Brazil. Didn't we have a crazy race last season as well in tier 3?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had
it's always Brazil. Yeah, it's now
amazing.
3 seasons in a row where it has been an amazing race.
So effectively, if Ricky can stay with Dan, Ricky's on for the win here. And I know there's such a thing called a commentator's curse, but Matty is 1 warning away, remember, from a 6-second penalty, and he's going to have to push like hell to get past Connell and catch up to Ricky and Dan. So it's risk versus reward here for Matty. As a safety car, it should come in this lap, shouldn't it? So we're going to have a 2-lap dash towards the end. No DRS is going to be back either, is it? So this is going to be so interesting to see, as they're all going to be absolutely scrapping for positions here. So I cannot wait for the safety car to come in.
Already an F in the chat for all the incident stewards, because they will have such a hard time with the last 2 laps coming in. Incidents are gonna come in left, right and center as everyone is warming up the tires for the last 2 laps in this race. Then 6 seconds, Ricky 0 seconds, Connell is on 0 seconds.
Oh,
Matty, 3
fuck.
seconds. Roland, 0 seconds. Oh my days, those guys are gonna get paid out because of not picking up any penalties during this race whatsoever. But keep in mind, Medirobo is the first one on fresh tires, followed by Justin, followed by Robert. Thibaut is on for a brilliant result as well, being in P9, but he's on 15 lap old mediums. Safety car should be coming in this lap after the sector 2 line, which is coming up now. Oh, Harold is making his race even worse. Safety car in this lap. It's game on now.
Here we go. Dan is the effective leader now, and it's completely up to him to when he wants to bolt off. As we're all lining up, I cannot wait for these last 2 laps.
Get your popcorn ready.
So
go on to the edge of the seat. Get your seatbelt on. We're green. Let's boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Dan is off with a brilliant start. Look at Ricky Cole sleeping. Is Connell gonna go for the move? Is driver's man in the Williams gonna go around the outside? Yes, he is. Is he gonna make the move work? No, he's not. Ricky defending for his life. Medirobo, brilliant move down the inside. He's up into P3 now, and now he needs to get past Ricky. No DRS, of course, with the overtake button. Is Matty gonna go for a late launch into turn 3? No, he's not. Roland defends P5. He needs to stay within 3 seconds of the guys in front at least. As Thibaut is losing positions left, right and center, of course, on those meters. But Medirobo is on for a brilliant result, as he needs to get past Ricky as soon as possible, and then needs to pull away 3 seconds. You would say it is impossible, but you never know with tier 3. Look at the amount of grip he's got already down the inside of Ricky. What a move from Medirobo with the much more grip on those fresh soft tires, and it's him up into P2. Now, Dan could play the ultimate teammate by holding up Ricky, going into the sector 2 to maybe give Medirobo the 3-second lead. We saw doing Tichy and Stumpy doing it last season. Are these guys gonna do exactly the same thing here at Brazil season 6?
Justin's gone past Ronan as well. Of course, he's on their fresher soft tyres. Puts himself up into P5. He wants to try and stay in touch with the guys at the front. He's on for a potential podium here tonight. Look at the gap between Dan and Matty's just on the 1 second barrier. So it doesn't look like Dan's going to slow down for Matty here.
It doesn't look like it.
Of course, remember Dan has 6 seconds as well, so himself he needs to push like that.
Yeah, he needs to push as well, which is very understandable. Justin, is he gonna make a move on Connell for P4, which will turn out to be probably P2.
Ricky's got 3 seconds.
Oh, Ricky, he won't be happy. Where did he pick that one up? How? Oh, Robert making a move down the inside on Reggae.
Look at this, Thomas. Is Dan slowing down here? Coming to the final corner. Matty must have had a mighty sector 2, of course, on the fresh softs. Coming up to the line now.
Drag race with the Alphas. As Robert takes professional lead. Connell's probably gonna take it. Connell's gonna take it. Going into P1 of this race. As everyone finished already. Wow, the standings. What an ending to this race.
Wow.
I can't believe
what an
it.
ending. I'll be honest, I completely forgot about Connell. I never thought about Connell. Ricky would have won that race. Ricky would have won had he not picked up that penalty in sector 2. I cannot believe it. I completely forgot about Connell.
Oh my days, Ricky can absolutely shoot himself for the fact he picked up 3 seconds at the end of the race. Oh, what an ending we've seen today. Oh my days. 100% Connell driver of today, not only by the game, but definitely for me as well.
Oh yeah,
he drove a brilliant one.
Yeah, mentioned to Justin as well, he finished P3, had a great race.
100%. So here we have it. Connell P1, Matty P2, Justin P3, Roland P4, Robert P5, Ricky P6. How did Robert end up being in front of... Oh, he didn't have a penalty. Ah, fair enough. Then P7, he will be kicking himself as well. Tom, after the spin he made, up back into P8. Thibaut P9, really well done. Shea Prentice with his quali band P10, together with Rage Snipes P11, Reggae P12, Kelswag P13. Sergey P14, Lars P15, Jizzy P16, Charlie P17, Blades P18, Steve P19 and Harold P20. What a race we've seen today once again. It's just the fact that EU3, Tier 3, how you want to call it, I don't care anymore. They pull up a fight every single week.
What an ending to the race. Connell, first Tier 3 win ever. First win ever here in Contest of Speed. Yeah, great driver. I'll give him my driver of the day as well. But what a dramatic ending to that race that was. Of course, like you just said, Tier 3 it has those races where it just brings complete drama. But yeah, crazy ending.
Crazy ending on this race, and it just absolutely shows that it's so beneficial to stay clear of penalties and not picking up any of them, because a late safety car can throw everything into the worst. It's just, yeah, Connell taking absolute advantage of it by having no penalties for a couple of guys into the top 10 as well. Of course, Roland, Thibaut, Robert, they all gain positions because of not picking up penalties. It's so crucial, especially around this game where the track limits got extremely strict. You really gain big time from it. Guys to the party, because we definitely want to hear what they have to say. Let's see, EU3. So we're gonna invite Connell, Justin, and Matty.
I remember Rage at that point in the race, of course, when he retired, didn't he? He was caught in that accident. Yeah, he was out of the points. He had a good race.
Yeah.
The only driver I want to note as well was Cygate. Had Cygate pitted on to hard tyres, he would have been in with a shout as well. But he went on to softs, didn't he? Which kind of ruined his strategy. And then during the safety car restart, I think he was around P12. He did end up finishing P8, P9, but I think he'd be a bit disappointed in that. But apart from that, yeah, what an insane ending. This is why I love Tier 3. It's just...
You should have never left, mate.
I know.
Oh, I'm happy, I'm not biased at all, to put a Williams onto your screen.
Fuming. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Absolutely fuming.
So everyone, join the commentary box. Make sure your audio is unallowed to be shared, because otherwise it would be a shame if you are not being able to be here on stream. And then we're gonna start off with the interviews. So, with that, it was it Justin taking P3? It was Justin taking, yeah, Justin taking P3. Justin, we talked about you for almost the whole race because you had a brilliant qualifying at the beginning, and after that, just a brilliant race. You went on to the hard tires when you made your pit stop. Was that your plan all the way through, or was it just your instinct saying that you had to go on to the hard tires?
Well, the plan was at lap 14 to go to the hard tires and run till the end. And yeah, I got stopped by a Mercedes after that pit stop. So that cost me a couple of seconds to be in the slipstream of Matty. Because I thought like Matty, his last couple of laps would be collapsing his tires or end his times. But yeah, at the end the safety car ruined it actually.
Yeah, because you were on for a good result. Were you thinking about catching Matt Robo at the end, or were you already satisfied with taking the P2 at the end of the race?
Well, I knew he had like a 3-second penalty, so I was trying to get a 1.5 second. It was like trying to close that gap in like 4 or 5 laps. But I didn't think I would make that in 5 or 6 laps. But yeah, unfortunate that safety car happened.
Yeah, the safety car happened, but at the end, still taking P3. I think you can be very happy about what you showed us today and show your P3, mate. You really won on, you deserved it.
Yes, thanks, mate.
Going on to P2, yeah, Matty, don't know what to say. It happened to you once again now, where a late safety car throws away a good result. Yeah, I can imagine not being happy with the P2, are you?
I feel sick. Again.
Yeah, again.
I knew, well, obviously I had a time penalty anyway, and I was just like controlling it So everyone went on to hard, so I knew, they're going to come back at me in the end. Had about, 6 laps to go, still like 1.5 laps of fuel to burn, 8% ERS, so it's like, yeah, in control. And then the safety car came out, I was like, brilliant, not this again.
Yeah, here we go again.
But, you know, I suppose it is what it is. Still podium, still managed to outscore the guys that near me in the championships. I suppose that is the slight positive, but yeah, another, I suppose, victory snatched away by a Cody safety car.
Yeah,
Don't
it's such a
really know
shame.
really what else to say.
No, you went on to the mediums instead of the hards for all the guys behind. Yeah, at the end, it turned out, well, it was turning out to be the crazy surgical. Was always your plan to go on to those mediums, or as soon as you saw everyone going on to the hards, were you thinking just a slight moment about going on to the hards as well?
So yeah, done soft medium for most of the week, and then saw everyone went on the hard, so I thought, I'll just stay out, extend it. Medium should be slightly quicker. Didn't put away as much as I thought I would, but still like in a controllable gap with like ERS compared to everyone else, and yeah, just it looked like it was just going to be a nice little victory. Obviously, the threat of Justin was always going to be there. You can see I was on 5 warnings. I was 1 warning away from another penalty, which is what I was worried about for about 20 laps. But yeah, I mean, fair play. Justin kept me honest for the majority of the race, and then yeah, penalties once again cost me this season. Pretty much been the story of it.
Yeah, such a shame. But like you said, at the end, P2 still some good points for the championship, and you've been solid all season. You're continuing on that way. So yeah, for how much you want to care about it, congratulations on the P2, and well deserved at least.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
And going on to our race winner, yeah, unbelievable. I think no one expected it at the beginning. Connell, congratulations on taking the victory in today's race.
Thank you.
You've been invisible for almost, yeah, you have been invisible for 34 laps in this race. But then, as soon as the safety car came out, you must have think about, wait, I can take the victory in this race.
Yeah. Just first of all, I want to say congratulations to Matty and Justin for the podium. And as you said, kind of invisible. To be honest, I was happy with a top 10. Brazil is not a great track for me. To be honest, all the tracks aren't great for me, but I just don't like Brazil. But yeah, so I was up in, I think I was in 6th. No, I was in 5th, sorry, for a good portion of the second stint. And I ended up actually losing the car just before the start of the 3rd sector.
Yeah, we called that on stream. Sorry.
Yeah, so I lost the car, and I was just like, oh no, I threw away a top 5 here. And I knew Ricky was on the mediums, and I knew them tyres from doing practices, I knew they were not going to last up to the end of the race with, a good solid pace. So my soft to hard was what I was going with. I felt comfortable on that. But anyway, when I dropped back anyway, I was like, I need to get past these guys if I want to get any sort of good result. It was Dan, I think it was Dan Rage and Ricky were all in a kind of a train. They're all DRS training each other, so the gap was just going up and up and up and up. So yeah, when the collision happened, I actually saw it as well. Huge, massive collision. I was like, oh my god, what just happened? 2 places straight away, safety car. I was like, and my engineer said to me, he said, Connell, you can win this race. So I was like, oh my god, I've got back all the places I missed and things. So basically, when the safety car came out, I was just trying to do in my head, what I need to do and stuff like that. So obviously, I saw Matty with not to the softs, and I just cheekily got ahead of him before he came out of the pits. Did use a bit of an overtake, to be honest, so he wouldn't get me. But so yeah, after the safety car restart, I went in on Ricky into the first corner, but he actually overshot the corner, and I had to slow down, or else he actually would have taken me out. And I ended up losing a place to Matty. And when I was like, oh no, I'll be happy now with a podium, because I know Matty had 1 more warning to get 6 seconds or whatever it was, And then I knew Dan had 6 seconds, so I was like, okay, I can get a podium here. Happy out with the podium. But then when my engineer said Ricky got 3 seconds, I was like, are you serious? So for the half a lap, I just recharged all my battery and I just sent it down the straight, and I crossed the line, and I just hoped I'd see a third or a two, but I saw the first, and I woke up, my whole house is awake. I screamed. My throat was killing me. And I started crying as well, because this is what my fourth season at COS, or whatever, third season at COS, I think. So, not having, great results in the first two, to now being fifth in the championship, or wherever I am now, it's a great feeling to kind of be sniffing around podiums and top fives or top sevens, So, because at the start of the game, I didn't play it. This game, I didn't play it much. I didn't play it for about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Didn't like it, and I just didn't feel confident, So I'm quite happy now to be where I am in a way. So yeah, hectic race. Bit sweaty, but yeah.
Yeah, really well done, mate.
So,
Congratulations on the P1. No one saw it coming, but definitely enjoy it, and yeah, good luck for the couple of remaining seasons in this, the couple of races remaining in the season.
Yeah, thank you.
So with that, it rounds off the interviews and this EU3 race for today. I want to congratulate everyone on the podium. I want to thank KV for replacing Lewis in the commentary box today, mate. It was an absolute pleasure. Happy you could fill in.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Great race.
No problem. So, as I always say, if you want to follow Console Speed, make sure you hit the follow button on Twitch. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and if you want to be even more generous, you can even subscribe to our channel. If you want to support Console Speed even more, you can check out the web shop in the description. If you want to see any more races, check out the AU2 and AM2 race on the Tuesday, the AU1 and AM1 race on the Wednesday, and the AU4 race on the Thursday. With that, it rounds off the stream for today, and as I always say, have a good one, stay safe, and goodbye.